Hello, Diaz here. Welcome back to another video. What's up, Doc? Today's story is about, again, how loved one and family don't listen to me when I talk dentistry. This story comes to you from the year 2001, 2002, and it's about my husband. We were at that time living in Maine, and prior to that, he had a third tooth was growing in a wrong way on his upper left side that we ended up extracting and taking out when I was in dental school in 95, 96. And what that did is we created space so the rest of the teeth start moving and shifting, and he ended up with more spacing in the front teeth. So life went on, we got busy. I graduated from dental school, he graduated from graduate school, we tried to find jobs, we moved to Maine, we bought a house. And he always wanted to close the spaces because he felt that, number one, his teeth are too small for his smile. And number two, he wanted to make sure that the space doesn't continue to open. As a result, after time, things will spread out even more. So the plan is to put him in braces and straighten things out. And then after that, look at the final result and figure out if he needs veneers to close the spaces even more, or to give the illusion of a wider and brighter smile. So we moved to Maine. He started his new job. I was trying to get my license in Maine, landed a job, an associateship, and everything got really comfortable. And we got into the routine of everyday life. We got to know people in Maine, and we felt like, okay, this is home and we're going to be here for a while. It will be a good idea maybe to start his treatment, putting braces on, to start calculating the space and designing how his final smile is going to end up to be. So he begged and begged and begged. He's like, I'm ready. And I kept explaining to him, and I said, braces are permanently cemented on the teeth. You need to make sure your hygiene is spot on. You have to brush 2-3 times a day, 2 minutes every single time, because you're not only brushing the teeth, you have to make sure the brackets and the wires are clean, and the teeth underneath, all that metal and cement is also hygienic and clean. Yes, he promised, I'll do it. This is what I want. I've been waiting for a long time. Now you're my wife, you're the dentist. I don't trust anybody. Fine. So we placed the braces on, and again, gave him the instructions of making sure that the last thing we want, or the last thing we need, is after the braces are off to have more complications, recurrent decay, weak enamel, and then we are drilling and filling, and before you know it, he can't wear veneers. Because if you have too many fillings on the teeth, you cannot put veneers on margins that has the resin or the plastic. It has to be on natural tooth margins. So every time he went back for his cleaning, every 6 months, the hygienist will sit down with him. We'll go over fluoride and brushing and make sure he is threading with the threader and the floss between the brackets, and everything is clean and no bleeding and no high plaque and all that. So long process. About, I think he stayed in him for a year. The first day of placing the braces, he craves chicken wings. And I advised not to eat chicken wings because he will knock off a bracket. And we did go over instructions, food to avoid, and food that will risk cutting him or cutting his lip or cutting his gums or knock off a bracket or break a wire. Didn't care. Wanted wings. We go for wings and beers, and he eats wings as if he doesn't have braces on, and I'm watching him. To my shock and surprise, thinking to myself, is this the same person that we have spent about an hour and a half giving instructions? So he promised to be careful. I'm watching him eating the wings. And then the next morning, I think, or that weekend, where we're supposed to meet a couple that were friends of ours, co-workers of his, to go to the movies. I think it was on a Sunday. So he wakes up the next morning and I can tell there's something wrong, or he's sore, or he's in pain. And I kept asking what's wrong. He's like, I'm fine, there's nothing. I said, okay, fine. Saturday went by. Sunday he woke up, same look on his face. And I said, what's wrong? And he goes, oh, just my lip hurts. And I said, okay, how long has this been going on? He said, oh, it's been going on since yesterday. And I said, well, let me take a look. He goes, no, I'm fine. Let's just go. Our friends are waiting for us. So I insisted, after a couple of persuasions, that I have to take a look, because if he broke a bracket or broke a wire and the wire is poking him, it can create an infection. There's a lot of consequences that were running through my head, and I don't want to be sitting in a movie theater worrying about, okay, he can't eat the popcorn, or is it an infection, or I have to go into the office to fix something. So I finally looked, and behold, when he was eating the chicken wings, he knocked off the wire at the end of his mouth that's sitting against his cheek off the bracket. So there was a wire in the back of his mouth that's sticking out, that's poking at his cheek, and it's been cutting him since Saturday. This is Sunday. I was furious, and I said, what did I say? And he's like, what? I said, what did I say about the chicken wings? He goes, well, I was careful. I didn't know it's going to happen that fast. Don't worry about it. Let's just go to the movies. And I said, you know what? Fine. You did this to yourself. We're going to go to the movies. I'm going to try real hard to enjoy myself and not to think about it. Being a dentist, ethically, I need to worry about it and cut that wire off and give him some kind of like Neosporin or something like that, or so it doesn't get infected. And I can see there was a canker sore back there. So of course he insisted to go to the movies. We drove in silence, and we got to the parking lot, and our friends are waiting for us, and they said, what's going on? So we told them the whole story. And my friend goes, he worked for the state of Maine, I think construction and highway and stuff like that. So he had a lot of tools in his truck, and he goes, I have a wire cutter in the back of my truck. And I said, okay, how big it is? He goes, oh, it's big. And I said, it's up to him. So he was like, just do it, my husband. So here he is laying on the floor of the parking lot with his upside down, and my friend with the wire cutter trying to cut the wire, and me and my girlfriend trying to keep Ehab's cheek away from the wire cutter, and he cuts the wire off. Everybody was happy. We went to the movies, and that was that. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, live and learn. Nobody listens to me, and most of my family members don't take my profession seriously, dismisses my clear warnings, but when they get into a pickle, please help. Does that sound familiar? Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the story, and I'll catch you on the next video.